Hello everybody and welcome to this week's Humans in the News. Yes, that's right, it was bound to happen. We placed so many hopes on 2021 and what has it done? Well, it's actually started to blow out of the water the few good things that there were about 2020. So yes, it's time for Vaccine Wars! Yes, that's right, as the rollout turns out to be not as quick as lots of countries were hoping, so the battle has begun. There are all sorts of accusations over price and ethics and morals over the vaccine being used as some sort of political, policy-making football. Some sort of quest for popularity. Good job that hasn't happened in the UK, right, Boris? Ha ha ha! Oh my goodness, I crack myself up, I really do. Anyway, as it turns out that some labs aren't able to provide as many vaccines as they initially promised, lots of people are saying, oh, but you seem able to supply it to the ones who have paid more? Interesting. But even more alarming is it's making some people consider use of the controversial Russian vaccine. Yeah, I mean there's desperate and there's desperate, right? So while it looks like Britain might finally have got something right, I think it's important to remember two things. One, there is actually a question mark over how effective some of these vaccines are on some age brackets. Specifically, the AstraZeneca one is apparently not as effective on the over 65s. Good job we didn't start with that age bracket, right, Boris? And the other reason why the UK rollout seems so successful is because we're just not doing it right. Yeah, everybody is getting one dose. Twice as many people with one dose. And that is just, well, pretty unproven. So come on 2021, let's see who's got it right. Should we play it slow, wait for the right amount of vaccine and then do it? Or have we already just wasted all the vaccines we've already given out? I guess time will tell. You've got to have something to look forward to, right? I'd hate for this year to get boring. Anyway, here to cheer us up, no doubt, is Blettin. Take it away, Blettin.
Well, it doesn't cease to amaze me with you humans how there can be so much going on this planet in your lives, and yet it's the strangest things that make the news. So in the interests of really embracing your culture, today I'm going to talk about Beatles. Not the Beatles. That might be too interesting. I wouldn't want to overstimulate you. No, this is about two actual beetles. The Natural History Museum discovered that it had two beetles that were quite interesting in its collection. Yes, that's news. I'm not saying that lockdown has finally turned you all completely barking, but apparently it's news. And what makes it particularly curious is that these beetles are actually 4,000 years old. So to think of it as news is rather baffling. But apparently it's news because they didn't know they had them. They'd just been given these specimens some time ago and they'd just gone, meh, I don't know. And then it turns out that they're quite remarkable because they shouldn't have existed in this country. And it turns out that they were just really, really old. So I guess that's what passes as a good news story these days. 4,000-year-old beetles. Job done. You're welcome. Back to you, Zula.
Wow, Blettin, thanks. I mean, that was actually insightful and well delivered. What's happening? What's going on? Anyway, here's a word from our sponsor. Why, hello everybody. I have the most amazing product that I think you should buy. It is both luxury and inexpensive. It is functional and frivolous. It will save you time and effort and money in the long run. It is so perfect that you should buy it now. Terms and conditions apply. The item you receive may differ from that shown. Keep away from sunlight. The model featured is not available in this country. Terms and conditions are subject to change without notice. Some restrictions may apply. Action figures sold separately. All major credit cards accepted. Consult your physician before use. If ingestion occurs, induce vomiting and contact a physician immediately. All orders subject to review. All rights reserved. Allow 4 to 6 weeks for delivery. Always wear your seatbelt. As seen on TV. At participating locations only. Limited 1 per family. Avoid contact with skin. Batteries not included. Break glass in case of emergency. Children should be supervised. Danger. Harmful if swallowed. In case of accidental overdose, seek professional assistance. Instructions are included. Individual results may vary. Keep away from fire. Lift flap to open. Mind the gap. May cause drowsiness. Apply only to affected area. Not suitable for children aged 36 months or less. Objects in mirror may be closer than they appear. Read label before using. Beware of dog. Shake well before using. Slippery when wet. Subject to availability. Use only as directed. And now over to Kure with whatever she thinks she's going to get away with calling the weather this week. Kure! Today I am going to talk about the weather. Yeah, that's right. I'm going to talk about climate change. Are you happy? Are you happy? It's actual weather. Now I'm going to take a particular angle here. I know how much Zula likes talking about Elon Musk, so I thought I'd do kind of the same thing, but, you know, in my more glamorous way. So I'm going to talk about fictional Elon Musk. Yep, Iron Man, Tony Stark, or more precisely, the actor who plays him, Robert Downey Jr., because he's doing something kind of interesting. He is part of a fund that recognizes successful green businesses. He has decided to take a leaf out of Tony Stark's book and start throwing some money and some publicity at these people who are doing it right. And it's all very well to be an idealist, but we have to face facts that money talks. And there's no point in having ideals if it only lasts a few minutes because you've just folded. And that's why I kind of think this sort of initiative is going to work. Because that's what it comes down to with you humans. The money. And until all of these nice endeavors can compete with the likes of the big oil companies and the money and the influence, not gonna happen. Sorry humans, hate to break it to ya, meow, but it won't happen. So yeah, this is something nice to talk about. Maybe you people will be able to make a difference. I mean, I'm not gonna bet on it, but it's possible. Back to you, Zula. Wow, you actually talked about the weather. I'm a little freaked out now. Okay? You've done the weather. Blettin was actually insightful. And we've had a week of peace in America. What's going on? Am I ill? Am I coming down with something? So confusing. And special mention this week goes to Uncle Joe, who has given us something that I don't think I've experienced since I've been on your planet, and that is a quiet week in American politics. Yes, that's right. There's been no childish tantrums, no name-calling, no slightly dodgy advice. It's shocking. And, you know, while I'm sort of happy for the state of the world, come on, Uncle Joe, this is what I do for a living. Spice it up a bit, will you? Say something derogatory about women, or about your opponent, or claim something wildly unfounded. I mean, just something. And, you know, nobody's perfect, so I'm sure sooner or later there's going to be some sort of blunder or some odd policy. But anyway, join me again next week for more Humans in the News.